Disclosure. If you're in the know, you know that top level government officials have disclosed they have seen UFOs and they believe they are of alien origin. I know some of these people have had face-to-face and physical contact and communication with these extraterrestrials. They must have. I have. If I want someone to do something, then I need to lead by example and not be a hypocrite. So, I'm going to tell you the mad tale of when I was abducted. Or, it wasn't an abduction, but it was contact. When I was 7, this was 1982 in Washington State, in the suburb of Tacoma. I was in the woods behind my friend's house, riding on her bike. For some reason, I was by myself, riding in this path in the woods. And then 3 creatures, these 3 people appeared in front of me. They had big heads, skinny bodies. There were 3. Kind of feminine, one in the middle that was taller than the rest. And there were 2 smaller ones that seemed male. They had really kind of almost colorless grayish skin, a pale color, and big black eyes. They were wearing, I don't know, I can't even describe their clothes. It seemed like the clothes were holographic. It seemed like I could see them, but they somehow weren't there. They didn't move with the wind. It's weird. So they appeared in front of me, and all of a sudden, just the bike stopped. Then they were floating. They didn't move their legs. They just floated a few inches above the ground and went. They stopped bike with telekinesis and froze me, and then they went surrounded me, floated next to the bike, and then they lifted me off into the air and were just holding me in place. I was awake, my eyes were open, and I was terrified and confused and amazed at this all at the same time. I didn't know if I was dreaming or if I was awake. I didn't know what those things were. I just thought they were nightmare monsters, and I was having a nightmare. I tried to wake up, but I couldn't, because I already was awake. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. I could breathe, but I couldn't move my body or make any noise. And then they used telekinesis to take my clothes off me and started spinning my naked body around in the air, examining me, looking at me, and then they started prodding me with the fingers, like touching me all over. Ugh. It's fucking weird. All I wanted to do was scream. I prayed to Jesus, just let me scream. Wake me up out of this dream. Save me from these monsters if I can only scream, and I couldn't fucking scream. Then they basically examined me. It was like a medical examination, like looking at me, poking me, touching all my orifices, poke, poke, poke. It's like they were like extracting information by touching me beyond just this is how this physical body feels. They were figuring out electrical impulses and okay, so I was frozen in the air, and then they just went poof, and then they TK'd my clothes back onto me and floated. Then the female floated me in front of her face. Her big black eyes like starless nights. And she looked deep into my eyes and cocked her head like a dog, kind of, or a human. And I could feel what she was thinking. They made a mistake. Somehow they were supposed to put me in a trance or make me fall asleep or something first. But for some reason it didn't work, because they're not perfect and all powerful. They still make mistakes, and there's always chaos, an element of chaos and randomness and everything. So I don't know why that happened, but she was saying to the others, he's awake, he's not supposed to be awake. He's looking at me. He's awake. Why is his brain awake? And I felt her mind permeating into mine like a sponge, like water going into a sponge.